People in Xuanwu heard about news that Red Tooth had been killed by a barber. There are gossips everywhere saying that Xuanwu assassins are frauds, not real assassins. So the leader of assassins orders to increase the bounty of 7 to the highest. Many assassins came to Chicken Island. Yo-Yo, assassins rank 1173, try to attempt assassination, but Sneaky 7 disguise himself and easily cut and kick him. Yo-Yo knew 7, he retreated and threw his yo-yo knife, but 7 destroyed it, but the yo-yo scattered and hit everyone. After that 7 eat meatballs together with Liuwen. While 7 is selling soup, 13 and his master is watching from afar. He gives her permission to speak with 7 for one last time, because from the time 7 leave the island, they are enemies. 7 pays the medical bill of Dayabo with all his earnings from selling soup. At night when 7 is drying his cloth, someone comes to attack 7 using a poison gun that melts anything it touches. After 7 defeated the assassins, he had a flashback to when he became a scapegoat to kill Red Tooth. He decided to go back to Xuanwu and wear his assassination robe, as many assassins came to the Chicken Island. Dayabo woke up from his nightmare. He immediately searched for 7, and found out that 7 were going to Xuanwu. At once Dayabo ran back to the salon and had some flashbacks. 2 years ago, when 7 found out about his assassin clothes model, he didn't like it and said it's like cosplay. They started preparing his beef stew. When 7 was going out to sell, he saw a hairdresser and was interested in it. On the way to the school, Dayabo detected the smell of money, and saw the miracle doctor opening something shining. Dayabo followed the doctor and saw a big diamond. While 7 is selling some stew to a kid, Dayabo rushes to the stall. He acts like he is being poisoned by the miracle doctor and asks 7 for help, but 7 said, "Don't worry, he will take care of Xiao Fei." Dayabo slapped him and said, "Help me find the antidote." Dayabo gave him a picture of what the antidote looked like. At night, they execute the plan. They use a sleep poison, that in 10 seconds the miracle doctor will be knocked out. 7 sneaks in and Dayabo is guarding the entrance. When 7 is inside, he sees nothing and accidentally triggers something and drops down to a room. There's a lot of jars and containers. But suddenly the wall behind is closed and the many drawers are approaching. 7 need to make chicken soup as a key to pass the door. He remembered something when he was shopping for medicine. He watches a lady making chicken soup. He immediately took the ingredients needed, but it's not the right medicine. He tried many times going after many ingredients. After the 3rd time he finally succeeded. But there is a second challenge, the drawer mechanism that hits 7 in the face. 7 skillfully dodges the drawer using his parkour skills. After some time he sees the miracle doctor, looking like he is wearing a weird robot mask, but it's his true form. Dayabo, who has been waiting long outside, calls 7 but has not answered. Dayabo thinks that 7 took the diamond and ran away, went in and saw no one. Dayabo fell to the trap the same way 7 fell and arrived at the place where Miracle Doctor is. 7 is confused on how Dayabo can come too. 7 at once ran to take the box but got hit by a trap. Miracle Doctor wears his cat mask again and launches a fireball from the cauldron. Watching how strong the Miracle Doctor is, he tells 7 to retreat. 7 didn't want to because he wanted to take the antidote. Dayabo, who thinks life is more important, ran away. But he goes back because he can't leave 7 behind. The miracle doctor uses poison gas. Dayabo gets scared and wants to run, but 7 is angry not about money, he is angry because his friend is getting bullied. He tried again to get the box by dodging everything, but the battle got intense, until 7 uses scissors. But in the end he failed. Dayabo wants to go to Xuanwu to save 7, because 7 trusts Dayabo even when he lied to him. Xiao Fei also feels the same way and they sold the salon. 7 turned into fish and when trying to cut one, a big one came, and he got his food. From a distance, he saw the mainland. He thought it was Xuanwu. He's going full speed ahead. There are many beautiful women out there. It turned out to be Dali. 7 is happy to meet many beautiful women. He drinks coconut and feels dizzy. A beautiful woman becomes ugly when they open their mask. He had a nightmare and woke up in prison. It turns out that Mao Kai is also there. Love Island is a lie, they only lure males here to mate. So their next generation will be prettier. They have 2 options. The first is to get married and have children. The second is to kill the handsome king. The people of Love Island were cursed by a handsome king and turned ugly. They want to find a fighter to beat him. If 7 can overthrow him, the king will let 7 marry his daughter. The people who can't beat handsome king will become ugly. Mao Kai's guitar fell into the sea and the waves washed it away. 7 felt despair and fell into a dilemma. To find out how strong Mao Kai is, watch part 2 of the video. 7 is getting married soon, but he thinks it's better to take the risk. 2 days later a new prisoner came. They are hoping a powerful ally comes. But it turned out to be Daebo and Xiao Fei. Daebo, with his intellectual chicken brain, turns into a guitar so Mao Kai can defeat the handsome king. 7 easily defeats his bodyguards and they enter the handsome king's chambers. They immediately attack the handsome king, but Mao Kai got hit by the handsome king's mirror, making his face ugly, and his body got controlled by the handsome king to protect him. 7 got tied up by Mao Kai's skill, but he is able to dodge the mirror attack. Daebo helps by shooting the mirror until it's completely broken. But Daebo missed some shots and 7 got hit several times. The handsome king has his favorite weapon, the 1,000 faces. Clever 7 blocks the handsome king's face so he can't attack anyone. Meanwhile, Daebo tries to wake up Mao Kai. The handsome king was struck by Mao Kai's sad song. Apparently, he met a woman on a dating app and dated her, but seeing his face he got friend-zoned. That is why he's doing this. He knew he's already lost and said the way to break the curse was just a kiss with or without love. The problem is solved, they all return to normal. The handsome king asks Mao Kai to teach him how to sing. Meanwhile, Daebo scolds 7 for leaving without a word. Daebo said that if the 7 left, all the assassins would leave the island as well. Daebo and Xiao Fei went and accompanied 7. On the day 7 left, 13 wore the clothes that 7 gave her. 11 that came teased 13 about how cute that clothes is. 13 answers by saying, "Why don't you go back to Xuanwu because your mission here is done?" She says she can't go back because it took days for her to heal since 13 master slapped her, and she wants to bring a guy back with her. 13 also talks about how the Flying Bird sect is after her, accusing her of stealing their secret technique. 11 comes to Dachun, trying to seduce him when he is practicing, but he gets up and tells her not to disturb him. An hour passed. She wants to hire him as her bodyguard and shows him a bag of gold. He wanted it but resisted. Dachun, instead of accepting it, kicks it and arrests her because she is an assassin. Why did he reject money and women? Confused 11 tried to act like a sad girl, after hearing some sad story. Dachun is convinced and accepts the job for 150 yuan a day with no lodging expenses. He also provides full refund insurance if she is injured under his protection. She succeeded and Dachun asked where we would go. It's Xuanwu, Plum Blossom Mansion. They use a secret entrance. They dive into the cave that says no diving and arrive at Xuanwu. She's at a restaurant. Before eating, Dachun checks the food with a needle to see if there's a poison. One of the gangsters at the other table is trying to flirt with 11. She wants to try Dachun ability and thwack the hand of the gangster. When he wants to hit 11, Dachun blocks it and they fight. Enemy sword attack didn't work on Dachun's golden virgin body and called his other companion, but it still didn't work. When Dachun asked for a peaceful solution, suddenly 3 guys from the Flying Bird sect, that chasing 11 came. 11 trying to run away got caught right away. At the Flying Bird sect, 11 is tricked by the head of Bird sect. When 11 was going to be killed, Dachun came with the sect board, challenging the sect. Dachun is furious seeing 11 in that state when he is supposedly protecting her. The head sect commands the guard to defeat Dachun. The guard rushed at Dachun but he utilized his internal energy to use the golden body. Day and night he stands still and when the guard is tired he attacks. Seeing how hard Dachun fights, 11 remember when she was a child, another child bullied her, and she asks her father for help, but her father doesn't help her because he already teaches her how to fight. Finally, when Dachun is able to defeat the disciples of the Flying Bird sect, the head wakes up and slashes Dachun. Dachun cannot use his golden virgin body because his internal energy is almost depleted. Dachun dodges the flying attack of the head and holds his leg. When the head wants to throw off Dachun, he uses 7-day love locks, making the head unable to fly, and when using the last bit of internal energy. Because 11 was injured, he gives a full refund. 11 asks why are you doing a bodyguard job when it's not very lucrative and tough. Dachun teacher teaches him that a bodyguard is like an umbrella, when it doesn't rain you hardly think about it, but it becomes important when it rains. 7 journey to Xuanwu continue, he got lost again and landed on a rocky island. This island is full of muscle guys. When they want to order food, the restaurant doesn't serve anything they asked for, only serves chicken breast and protein powder for muscle. 7 was shocked to see the muscle on the guy. Daebo says even if you have so much muscle, he will never lose in a real fight. Then Coach Chen came out of the gym in style, he's the gym star. Daebo suddenly acts like a real chicken when asked if he's the one who said he will never lose. At that point Chen challenges 7 to a duel. Before the start, 7 admitted defeat because he thought there was no point in fighting. But Coach Chen doesn't let him go, If he loses, Dai Bo will be cooked, because the blue feather chicken breed has high protein. In return, if 7 wins, Chen will give him his treasure. The first round started with a contest of breaking through 18 walls as fast as they could. 7 lost in no time. Chen breaks down walls with all kinds of muscle technique. Round 2 immediately started, crushing stone with chest. Already out of the playoffs, 7 thinks this round will be easy, but he is stoned to death. He wakes up seeing Muscleman try to give him artificial respiration and saw Chen easily destroy the stone with his chest and win the second round. Round 3 started about withstanding blows with each other. They must attack alternately and dodging is not allowed. This is a best of 5 rounds, and if Chen wins again, he automatically wins the bet. Having already fought and won against Dachan that have a golden virgin body, 7 was overconfident, but Chen suddenly transforms his body into golden body armor. When he saw this, he was very shocked. Anyone on this island can use golden body armor. Chen launches the first attack and 7 are almost out of bounds. It turns out that Dachun is also from there. Chen and Dachun are childhood friends. Dachun is weak, has no talent and can't build muscle, contrary to Chen that has a good body and gets stronger quickly. Chen bullied Dachun and laughed when someone invited Dachun to become a bodyguard, which is why he left the island. Hearing the story, 7 is outraged and said he would beat Chen in one move. 7 attacks him with his finger that he learned from Red Tooth last time they fought. He is right, Chen's body flattened out and 7 punched him to the air. Infuriated, Chen got all his muscles back and hit 7 on the face. 7 upheld his stance and blocked it with his face. He started talking about Dachun that has already reached golden body level 7. When Chen heard this, he quickly gave up and 7 became the winner and went with Daebo and Xiao Fei. 7 vomited in pain when no one saw him. The muscle man gives them a map to Xuanwu. As they are about to leave, Chen keeps his promise. He gives 7 his precious, golden super fast muscle gainer. When they arrived at a really weird island, something strange happened. Daebo grew tall and 7 got fat. It turns out a child is using a supernatural power and lifts Daebo and 7 using a telekinetic. The boy is called Ping'an. His supernatural power is to change and move things at will. When he asked them who they were, 7 said he was an assassin. They were thrown into the water. He asked again. 7 promoted his job as hairdresser and offered a price, and they were thrown into the water again. In the end, 7 cut his hair for free, but 7 missed a cut and made a weird-looking hairstyle. Ping'an said he met a Xuanwu citizen who lives in a hut. They went to the hut and met Ping'an friends. Yongkang and Charsiu both have a superpower. Yongkang can use muscle modulation, and Charsiu can control flame and can shoot fireballs. They joined forces and shot the ball into the hut. It turns out to be the poor man Hua, a homeless man, who does not pay after a haircut. They dined together. He said that if 7 gives him a free haircut, he will tell Xuanwu's secret tunnels. Suddenly the airplane of Istan came. Ping'an kicked 7 and asked everyone to hide. Prince of Istan comes out with Kola. 7 assumes Kola has been kidnapped. Ping'an manipulates the roots from the ground to attack him. He looks very angry. Ping'an and friends combine attacks, but are easily countered. The Prince of Istan beat them easily. Kola abruptly stops the Prince of Istan. Ping'an hated Stan so much because they kidnapped all his friends. But the prince has a different perspective of view. He is doing this for the good of science and technology. Suddenly 7 came out and accused Prince of Stan for kidnapping Kola. She punched 7 and told the truth. She is the one to ask Prince of Stan to take her to a superpower country because of the wounds from the past. Prince of Stan attacks 7 to finish their last fight. Charsiu shoots flames, but the prince absorbs the flame and shoots back. Ping'an helps her fend off the laser beam. Yongkang throws chicken wings that belong to Hua, and Ping'an manipulates their size by pieces. Yet Prince is so strong he dodges everything. 7 has an idea, so they work together. They combined all attacks. Still Prince survived and uses a superpower jamming wave, causing all superpower berserk can't be controlled. As he was about to finish them off with a laser beam. Suddenly a fireball got shotted to his hand and the laser beam went to Kola direction. He tried hard to change direction, but she still took the impact of aftershock. He got enraged and initiated kill mode, but stopped by Hua. With only one hand he stopped Prince and the detectors cannot define who he is. Hua said that the girl will not survive if you do not move now. They are 3,000 kilometers away from Stan. There is not enough time to save Kola if he brings her back. Ping'an said there is a wizard that can heal in the Undercity, but said he cannot bring outsiders, especially the one who kidnapped their friends. Prince of Stan threatens him that if they fail to cure Kola, the superpower country will be wiped out. They immediately went to the Undercity. Prince of Stan started thinking if what he is doing is wrong. They wait for one night. The mage Axo and Pingen rush to them. Kola was in danger. She said her wounds weren't incurable, but her genes were defective. Her recovery is much slower than average. Shattered by the explosion, her organ is failing. A rare Shenong medicine called Black Jade is required for her to fully recover. Prince of Stan volunteers and rushes to find a Black Jade to Shenong. But Axo said that he will likely not get the medicine because of his personality clashing with the Shenong. Poor Hua said he had the medicine at his house. Seven asked where, he said Xuanwu. He offered to use the tunnel he had dug and will arrive in just 2 hours. You can use the tunnel at a price of 50 yuan each. Take the necessary medicines when they arrive. Hua set a time to take them back. He also gives them the address. He pushes them using a mysterious power. In 2 hours, they reach Xuanwu through the tunnel. At the same time a gang is chasing someone and shooting poison needles. The timing is so perfect that Seven got hit instead. Everyone runs away after seeing the Shadow Killer badge that Seven dropped. The one remained using his 2 swords and tried to kill Seven but was saved by Ouyang Zan, the user who used thumb martial arts. He attacks with a funny fist that uses his thumb to pierce his armpit points, weakening his opponent's hands and winning easily. The enemy flees. Daebo asks him to direct them to the address. He pointed up. There are no escalators or elevators in Xuanwu, so people use jump fly arts or just use stairs if they can't. Seven summoned and showed Xiaofei, but Xiaofei was injured in the fight with Red Tooth. He became unable to fly. After 30 minutes, they arrived using the stairs at the top looking exhausted. Looking at the scenery from up there, he found that Xuanwu is very beautiful and familiar. There are 2 men who guard the palace. They said something about poor man Hua that offended the guards. They got beaten. So they transform into a butterfly with a transformation bomb, yet get caught and beaten up again. Using the transformation bomb again they tried to transform into a bird yet got caught again. When they were caught and almost got executed, Seven imitates the thumb martial arts, but he tries with his leg, so it has no effect and his legs are held and tickled. Ouyang came and tried to help them. Ouyang is very good at fighting one-on-one, but he fought 2 bodyguards at once and got pushed back by them. Ouyang asks him to hurry and gives his assassin's token back. He hopes this token doesn't belong to Seven, because his master was killed by an assassin with this token. He doesn't know, it was Seven before he lost his memory. It's time for Hua to pull them back. Daebo goes down first and Seven drops Xiaofei but he doesn't join them, and goes away alone. He went by himself and saw a statue of a birdman in the distance. There he must meet the Blue Phoenix. 13 is hiding behind the statue. Her master orders her to stab Seven with a blue dagger if he comes. If she can't do it, she will no longer be the disciple of his and her life as an assassin will be over. 13 approached Seven and he blushed. 13 stabbed him while Seven was distracted, and left, but she felt bad after Seven gave her medicine. When she returned, he looked fine and even ate the snacks he brought. It turns out that the dagger she stabbed him melted into his body. Suddenly, a red bead attacks Seven and hits his hand. Seven is trying hard to dodge the bead. 13 tries to cut the bead in 2, but the bead splits into 2 and attacks her. She manages to block it but her hands are shaking because of the impact. The legendary, blind mage appeared. He has to kill Seven to protect Xuanwu, threatening 13 that if she helps Seven, she will be killed as well. The mage launches an attack with a red bead, which Seven try to block and evade. 13 can't help Seven because she can get capital offense. The mage managed to control the size of the bead and blocked 7 attack. When 7 is holding the attack, he suddenly coughs up blood. The bead almost hits 7, and seeing that 13 can't sit still and blocks it with her strongest attack. All the red beads surround her, creating a red cage closing in to kill her. 13 can't break open the cage. 7 suddenly turns into a beast and runs to the mage, withdrawing all the beads. He is now fighting in earnest. The mage shoots a light beam, 7 dodges it. It turns out, the blue dagger that 13 used to stab 7, is an ancient dark ice. The person who gets stabbed by the dagger will lose his reason and turn into a beast. The mage lifted all the beads to the sky, enlarged them and dropped them. As he rushed to the mage, the beads fell at the same time. He saw 13 and ran to protect her. 7 asks 13 to run fast and far because he has almost no control. 7 distracts the blind monk and escapes. He was surprised to see 7 protect 13, while controlled by the ancient dark ice. 7 runs into the forest and releases purple energy. Each assassin begins to prepare for the hunt. 7 was being chased by many assassins. Dan Dao throws a ball as a flare gun and gives the other assassins coordinates. Dan Dao uses the ball to attack, dodges and blocks. When running, the decapitation general shows up and blocks 7 way. 7 succeed to run away, but from a distance Ying Shen with his bow aims at him and he stands up in front to obstruct. 7 got hit several times by Ying Shen arrow. Fighting 2 of them at the same time is arduous. 7 is cornered by many assassins but he's escaped and injured, nearly losing his consciousness. He rests in an old hut and dreams of life on Chicken Island, a very peaceful and happy place. Suddenly, everything turns to dust, a storm arises, he wakes up, vomits blood on his hands. Someone entered the hut with a blade on his hand. He was someone who admired 7, and when he was in the same situation 2 years ago, he was mad at 7 because 7 ignored him. When he tried to kill 7, 13 came and easily defeated him. 7 is glad that 13 is here, but the situation is dangerous, and asks her to leave. He blushes when 13 says to take off his clothes to treat him. 7 felt really sick, he feels that the power is consuming him. People and memories slowly fade away, he can't remember their faces anymore. He doesn't want to forget the people of Chicken Island, he just wants to go back to Chicken Island. 7 asks her to keep talking so he can be distracted. She blushes when 7 tries to make fun of her. 7 falls asleep. In the morning, 7 has already set off, knowing that the dark ice will soon consume him. Blue Phoenix watches from afar, amazed to see 7 who can resist dark ice's corruption for so long. When 7 was almost consumed, someone came to see him. 13 dreams of her past memories and wakes up crying. She is confused about where 7 has gone. She quickly found 7. He is severely beaten by Stonegate, a member of the Shadow Assassins. Someone approaches 13 from behind, with such agility that even 13 doesn't sense it. She is also a shadow assassin called Manjusaka who is very jealous of 13 because 7 cared so much about her. She said that she will kill 7 if she can't have him. 13 protects him. Another shadow killer has come named Blackbird, he is famous to torture his opponent until they die. 7 asks 13 to leave, but she yells at him to shut up. Blackbird moves very quickly and dodges 13 attacks. 13 is tied up and dragged into the woods. When 7 tried to help her, he suddenly felt like he was drowning in the water and fainted. 13 is able to cut off the whip. But Blackbird started attacking again and 13 barely dodged the attack and was hit by the whip. She ran back to 7 and called her eagle to run away. But Blackbird can fly because he was the sect leader of the Flying Bird sect. 11 share the story of the Flying Bird sect faction. At first, the Flying Bird faction was strong. They had 2 leaders, white and black, and the apprentices split into factions. Later they fought and the black faction lost. After that, the Flying Bird sect faction became only 1 faction, and after the battle, the leader retreated, leaving many apprentices. The black faction's skills are terrifying and easy to learn, but the side effect is dreadful, the body will start to wither away, leaving with nothing but an empty shell. They were struck down and the eagle died. 13 fainted and flashback to why she wanted to learn martial arts and when she could no longer protect her mother. She got back on her feet and doesn't want the same thing to happen again. 13 succeeded in locking Blackbird whip, making him fight seriously. She gets hit many times by the ultimate attack of Blackbird, but is able to calm her mind and 7 also wakes up from his dream to protect his loved ones. Her sword got broken, yet she is able to slash Blackbird's face because 7 lent her the 1000 demonic fraction to her dagger. Sadly the story ends here. What do you think will happen next? Thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.